Hello, Just One Spell tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Renaissance with me, BlueAnkylo, where we probably do a fairly chill run today, I think, plan. Last episode, or last series, was the pseudo-solo Death Knight New Game Plus, or Renaissance Plus, whatever you call these things. Today, we're going to just play on regular mode, because I feel like it's just time for some regular mode, you know? And there's an achievement or four that we're going to bang out. It will require a red mage. Oh, I didn't think of names. I don't have names today. Well, as long as I'm quick. Who's a good Final Fantasy character that could be red mage? Black and white spells and some swords. You know, literally anyone from Final Fantasy VII. You know what? I've probably done this before. Although now we have more spaces. Can we fit? That's not correct. Well, you just know who Red is. It's our big dog from Final Fantasy VII. Let's call him Red. Isn't it like Anaki or something? I'm gonna try to spell it. Anyway, we need a red mage, a white mage. White mage. There's lots of white mages. I've probably done this one before, but we'll go with Yuna. I do like Yuna. One of these days I gotta replay Final Fantasy X. It's been a really long time. I know she summons as well, but she's sort of a white mage mostly, right? And then we need a black mage. My favorite is always Vivi, but seeing as we took one from, I could use Lulu, but you know we've already got her. Let's try to pick one from each from a different game. Who would be a black mage from? Well, you know, to be fair, then if we're picking one from different games, favorite black mage from 9. And then a green mage. This one is really tricky because there isn't really any, as far as I know. Maybe in like the MMO, like Final Fantasy 11, sort of. And like technically, Final Fantasy 12 sort of has green magic as a spell, but there's not really anyone that's like specifically good at it. Or is there any people of color like look like a brown lady or something? I don't know. Final Fantasy's not really known for its representation. Let's green mage, druids, green. I also don't know the new Final Fantasy super well. I mean, we can go with Fran. It's fine. I don't know. Someone suggested it in one of the other ones. I'm not sure I totally agree, but I need a name. So, there you go. Okay, so it is a fairly chill challenge, but there's some achievements to get. If you didn't know, you can get achievements for only getting one black spell per level for a black mage. Or 0, even. So we can have one white magic spell, one red magic spell, one green magic spell. That should still be more than enough in this kind of party. And the red mage is even pretty good tank early game, so I don't think this is going to be particularly difficult, so we'll just kind of have a good time. At least that's the plan, right? I'll even buy everyone their sticks and staffs. Yeah, we even get chain armor, which is really nice. I mean, it would be way easier if we brought a time mage for that one, but we accidentally bumped that achievement out last run. So in terms of like early game spells, remember, we can only have one. So what's the best of the first 4 for a white mage? We don't really need Ruse, although it's not bad. Don't really need Fog. Don't really need Harm either. Probably end up just getting Cure. And I don't even know. I don't even know. Level 1 magic just barely matters. I could pick up... Do I care about status element sleep ever? It is handy against the pirates. Do I ever think having... other than the very early game, Fire and Lightning. No, I'm just going to give... I'm going to get sleep for some very rare early game benefit. Our melee damage is pretty low. Until we get to Elfland. and then we'll just be using Fire 2 and stuff. I can get one more. I don't know. The Red Mage is always tricky because he can learn, you know, anything else. I mean, we could pick up Harm. I don't think it's enough damage. 40 non-elemental, is that enough to even kill, like, a Geist? I feel like basic Harm is just never enough. Like, it's about a maybe 50% chance to kill a Geist. That's okay, but it only really kills, like, bones and zombies, and they don't really matter much, right? Like, it definitely kills these guys, but I don't really care about those guys. And then, like, zombies are pretty weak. And similarly, it doesn't really matter. So the things you want to kill are Geists, maybe Specters, which are about the same, with Ghouls. And I think the only way we're going to actually kill sort of the tier 2 undead, let's call them, is Harm 2. I think Harm 1, I mean, you could cast it twice. Would I rather have that or Ruse? No. Fog? Probably no. Cure? Not really, because we get free magic healing from our skill anyway, right? So we can kind of heal this much soon enough for free for everybody. Yeah, we'll pick up the thing that you can't do otherwise. Just to refresh people, the Red Mage is pretty good at status effects, which is maybe they should have the sleep spell, in theory, anyway. And the White Mage gets that free prey ability, and their healing spells are just better, which is nice. Black Mage can make everyone's intelligence higher, which could be useful, potentially. And their spells also do more damage, similar to the White Magic ability. And unfortunately for Green Mage, their skills suck. Exuviation, pretty bad. I'll talk about it more once we have some anti-spells that we can actually use it. And resisting poison doesn't really matter either. And Druidic Bounty is also pretty bad. So, anyway, let's get to work. Set slot. Alright. I don't suppose we could level 1 kill Garland, right? That's probably not very likely. Maybe you could put him to sleep. Maybe we try, just for funsies. Just run and kill Garland at level 1 without fighting anything, right? Totally legit strat. This probably won't work, but it'd be funny. Can't harm him. We'll just pray that he goes to sleep. I don't think this will do anything on its own, but 15 damage. Put him to sleep. That's pretty good. Free healing, not much. Yeah, we can't use that at all. Alright, so we just use this over and over again and it gets a little bit better. That's it. The Green Mage woke him up. That was actually pretty bad. Now is when having the Cure spell might have helped a little bit. Anyway. Oh, I could be... Intelligence would do nothing. We're not very smart. I know, this is pretty silly. I'm just having some fun, right? The question is basically, can a Red Mage and a White Mage solo Garland? Because no one else is really helping. I think it mostly just comes down to whether or not Garland kills Red too fast. I probably should have put him in the bottom slot, actually, so he was less likely to get targeted. And Prey is pretty weak at this level. Well, it's not looking good. Maybe we'll come back at level 2. I don't know. We might get him still. It's possible. We've probably done over 50 damage. But, did I, like, forget to equip the chain armor or something? It feels like we took too much damage on my Red Mage. Well, so much for you now. I think we're pretty close, actually, but... Ooh, just a couple good crits like that. Well, can we win with 1 HP? No. Alright, alright. I was being a little silly. I just wanted to see. I think it's possible. Especially if you put the red mage at the bottom. I think we might have been able to pull that off. But yeah, it's not a very strong group for the early game. Not until we get some better spells. I can't believe we missed a sleeping imp. Like, really? It's so much better once your hit rate gets high enough that you stop missing. Which doesn't take very long, but... Oops, that was not the one. I think the intelligence boost would make harm a little better. It should scale based on your intelligence stat. Pretty much anything that does damage or a status affliction should be affected. So, like, bluffing would make sleep more accurate, I think. Now, it's doubling your intelligence, which means, you know, if your base intelligence is really low, it doesn't do very much. Look at us whacking away on some imps. Amazing. How close are we? Halfway. I forgot. I'm sort of used to solo runs and New Game Plus runs lately. Actually, the Green Mage will probably be the second slot character. They get a lot of HP normally. Probably. But, yeah, the leveling is pretty slow at the beginning of the game. Yeah, let's just assume something like this. The Red Mage will pretty much always have the best armor, and the Green Mage is very, replaceable, forgettable, kind of low priority. Eventually they'll have a lot of HP, and that'll totally keep them alive. You know what? We are, even at level 1 with all these mages, you know, fairly reliably killing one imp. Like, not every single attack kills an imp, but it's more than you'd think. And that's with just the basic weapons, the basic no-strength mages. It's better, you know, it's not too bad. The game is, I think, pretty well designed in the early game. This is partially why you can do a group of any party composition. Because even a solo thief or a solo white mage can kill imps. Which is not, like, not every RPG does that, right? Like, usually the early game is, you know, fairly safe, but, on the NES at least, there were definitely some where, like, I'm thinking, like, was it Dragon Quest 2 or 3 or something? Probably 3, the one where you get to build your own party. And, like, was that the one with the day-night cycle added in? I forget, but there's, like, some random encounters pretty close to your starting castle that I think it's, like, bubbles or something. I forget exactly. It's been a long, long time. But, like, I feel like there's definitely some fights that if you were doing a solo run, you're just dead. Like, they might not be very common, but, you know. If I was a green mage, what would I take? We're going to get a better shell later on, probably. Regen is at least all? Yeah. We'll get better regens later on, but this is like, at higher levels, it's a very efficient level 1 spell slot for quite a lot of healing. Especially once we're fighting enemies with sweeping spells. Let's try level 2 versus Garland. Surely this time. With like double the HP. I know we can pick up a cap and some random junk, but we don't need that. We're just gonna win. We'll just get some praying on, and I mean, we'll still sleep, I guess. I'm so glad that the Green Mage wakes him up. But, that's fine. I think if everyone was using magic, the sleep spell would be better, right? Because it wouldn't interfere. Honestly, we might have killed Garland the first try if I had picked up the Fire 1 spell instead. Because you could roll up to 40 damage on that, and 2 of those would kill him pretty easily. But I was just thinking random encounters and pirates and stuff, it'll be better. I would say sleep did basically nothing for this fight, sadly. Let me get a really loud song. Part of the trouble with my musical balancing is not all audio in the same playlist is like normalized the same. Yeah, easy at level 2. Alright. Let's go. This isn't like planning to be like a low level challenge specifically, but I will try to go light on the grinding, let's say. This is maybe not a speed run per se, but let's try to be somewhat efficient with our gaming. This is a good fight for sleep, I think. Doesn't mean we're gonna run from everything either, but nice. Now it's way too quiet. The introduction to the song is like literally twice as loud as the rest of the song. Alright, well, we'll see how the audio balance is in post. I think we'll be able to make it to Provoca. Might have to run from some wolves. Yeah, it's fine. With 4 people, boy, running is so much easier. Get so used to having solo challenges where running is definitely not guaranteed. I guess when I'm complaining about running mechanics, you know, it's balanced around having 4 people fail to run, not just 1. And the black belt, or the black mage, does have decent luck, so it's like 10 out of 17. So they've got like a 66% chance to run at base, or something like that. Much higher than everyone else. In fact, everyone else is really quite bad at running. 6 out of 17. So we're looking like 33%, and then the black mage is like double that, give or take. No money for level 2 spells, probably doesn't matter. I don't think we'll have too much trouble with the pirates. On normal mode, you basically don't, unless you're running Soul Thief. We'll just bonk and put to sleep. I guess if you didn't have a red mage up top, or someone with chain armor, it's a little bit rougher, but... So the good news about this challenge, actually, one of the best parts, is that we don't need as much money, because we're never going to buy... Like, 4 mages is usually very expensive to gear up, if you want to buy all the stuff. We don't have to worry about that. Alright, there you go, easy. Alright, and then for upgrades, like, I can buy gloves for a tiny bit of armor. I guess I will do that. Although I don't think I care about the red mage. Maybe I'll get them eventually. Yeah, fine. This is the only place you can buy them. I don't want to come back. Enjoy your 1 absorb. That might save your life. There is a sword you can buy, but I don't really care. If I were to buy 1 level 2 spell... It's not dark, it's not slow, it's probably not even ice. It is a fairly strong single target spell, but temper is enough to cut through a lot of problems. Get it? Cut through? I generally don't need to use it, but on a mage party that has relatively low, you know, strength and hit rate. You know, can we kill a shark? I don't know. Maybe. It's not a new game plus shark or anything. Let's use that temper spell. Yeah. Let's see how much damage we can do at low levels with even just 1 stack of temper. $41, that's a lot more damage. Hey, we even got sleep to work. because he had to waste his turn to wake up, which is better than nothing. Yeah. Okay, we stole his action twice. That's pretty good. That's all we get. I also didn't save it after the pirates, so we don't want to die. You know what? A little bit weird. That was a pretty good fight. Alright, that got me enough money to heal up. Now... I guess we go dwarf to rob them. Another fight we could probably win. But I don't think it's worth the hassle. Bam, $1,000 just like that. We only need 400 more and a couple levels. Speed run. I think the Black Mage will be taking Lightning 2, if I had to take a guess. Well, Fire 2 or Lightning 2, what's more useful? Undead. There's a lot of nasty Undead packs where Fire 2 is better. Lightning 2 is much more relevant on the ocean, but ocean battles aren't usually... I mean, it's nice to get through them fast, but it's not... Like, I don't really care about Sahags that much. You can just run away. But a pack of Geists or something, or stronger undead, Fire 2 will probably be better, actually. Yeah. And Kaizoku don't resist fire, actually, so if we're going to do Kaizoku strats, that'll work. Then again, harm, if we get a lot of harm spells, that will cover some of that. Okay, so how do we want to do this? We don't have enough money for anything good yet. That's a tough fight, actually. That's where your Lightning 2 would be good. I mean, I can start... I mean, I do need to buy copper bracelets. Those are pretty important. I'll probably want a silver sword. The mage upgrade weapons are not as big a deal. Sure, it's a 33% armor increase for most of the group. I know, I don't have a lot of money, but it's fine. Alright. I could have bought a scimitar or something. I could buy a saber. Do I bother? 13 plus 5. 4 extra damage. I just need to find a way to efficiently get a bit of gold and a couple levels. I think it's level 5 when they get their first spell slots, so... Or the first level 3 spell slot. Let's try a couple ogres. First strike, three creeps is more than I would like to fight. Certainly. Let's see if we can put him to sleep. Okay. This is where not having any level 1 or 2 damaging spells is kind of biting me a little bit. But if we get enough time... How much damage are we looking at? 19, not great. Yeah, I'm worried that the creep ogres will actually kill us pretty quickly if I can't kill them. A bit of... Oh, there we go. That's a good hit. Don't die now. Oh, come on! Well, the next fight doesn't have creeps, so it's fine. I mean, this is really good if we can win. Maybe we just start with regeneration? I should have started with it earlier last time. Problem is, it's only 10% of your max, so you don't get a ton yet. Maybe having, what's it called? Fog would have been good for some of these early fights. 45 damage is not bad. That's definitely like half an ogre. I think the thing is, creeps hit basically as hard as ogres do. And, don't even give you enough, you know, experience to make it worth money, golden experience to be worth it. That top ogre's almost dead. Just being a jerk. Alright. You know what? If we can kill 2 ogres at one fight, like, killing 2 ogres at level 3 isn't bad, actually. We are very low level, and we don't have a very strong... I'd say, like, with a fighter or something in the party, it's nothing unusual. But we don't have a very powerful front row hitter. And, like, no damaging spells at all yet. So, not bad. Well, I say that. It's assuming we actually hit him. Alright, red. Sure, we didn't get much. Would it be better to fight Kaizoku? Oof. This is honestly... This is slower than I expected, honestly, for my super chill, easy opener. Maybe Kaizoku? The problem is, like, Fran does nothing. Yuna mostly does nothing. And, I do think Temper was the right call, I think. There's not very many good, level 2 white magic spells in general. Wow. I mean, not really WoW, just, of course, WoW. Well... What's my best way to get a couple levels? And 1,500 gold. There you go, that was better. Maybe we just can't fight too many Kaizoku. 2 is good. Just small pack. Usually I reset the small packs. This is fine. Maybe we reset to get small groups, and then we get quite a lot of gold. So yeah, that's a lot of gold, not a lot of experience. But then we could always save, basically give up all the gold we just earned, and then you fight like just an ogre. Maybe a preemptive ogre even. So the real challenge for this run is just having 4 mages in the early game. That you try not to let die all the time. It'll be a lot safer once we get, like, silver bracelets, but that's a ways to go. I mean, copper's an upgrade at least, but... Alright, there you go. Maybe... I mean, last time Vivi got murdered, but, you know, it won't happen every time. Turn order every time. Alright. Focus down the top one, pray, and get some temper up there. I feel like we've been listening to this song for half an hour. Let's move on a little bit here. Supposedly there is a formula for enemies waking up from sleep. It's not supposed to be just instantly every time, but if I remember correctly, it has to do with like how many current HP they have. And their current HP has to be quite low for them to even not automatically wake up. Like, I think it's like maybe 40 or something. And if they have more than 40 HP, they just wake up instantly. So it just, you know, you put them asleep for 1 turn and that's it. It might have been bugged in the NES version, but... Okay, well, we've got money for a spell. Now we just need to get the levels for it, which probably aren't too far away. On the other hand, there are lots of things that need money, so keep getting money is good. That should be the name of my album. Keep Getting Money by BlueAnkylo. I don't know if it's better to start with a sleep. Probably better to start with a sleep. Because the bottom two aren't going to get hit. And then temper after, I guess. I think giving how much money we got per fight, it would have been better to buy the saber for red and still have enough money for fire 2 by the time we get to level. I wasn't exactly sure how the money would add up, but it looks pretty safe. I guess as long as we're fighting Kaizoku. I don't even think that's the best weapon for him. I just don't want to go up and buy the other one. The short sword, I think, is maybe better. I think it has a higher hit rate, which is what we're sort of needing right now. On the other hand, we're hitting harder. Actually, I like how much damage the Iron Hammer does. It's not a great weapon, but I always like the idea of the White Mage just bonking things like that. If I picked up any more, I've got level 1 spells for everyone except the Red Mage. Can't learn the green stuff, generally speaking. Cure, Fog, neither of those are very good for him. Maybe I should have just put Sleep on the Red Mage, actually. I think if I was to restart, Sleep on the Red Mage, because he's more likely to have it work anyway, and then just some basic damage for the Black Mage, just to get started. Maybe Lightning, just so he could help with this early grind. Yeah, that'd probably have been smarter. Oh, I was gonna do that. Oh, did I not? Oh, dang it. I forgot to save at Conaria there. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll put regen on still. Vivi getting a kill. Alright. Well, maybe it worked out anyway. We got the level up. That does not get us a level 3 slot, however. Just gonna throw that on the ground. Okay, we'll save them fighting ogres. I guess... Is there any level 2 magic that would make any difference at all? Just trying to think of what would make this a little easier. Let's fight some ogres. Maybe I'll go back to Provoca. I don't know if there's any green magic that's good at level 2 is kind of what I was thinking. I wish I got double ogres more often in old NES runs. I feel like I only ever got single ogre fights back in the old days. Yeah, he woke up immediately. It did prevent us from getting hit once, but it's not much. Bam, blam, blam. I don't know, temper might have been more efficient just stacking it up. Quit picking on Vivi, man! What do you ever do to you? Try to put you to sleep, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna need another 500 XP. It's not really that far. On the other hand, we could just buy some bracelets and take less damage. Ah, maybe that's better. Boring. Now I don't have enough money to save. I mean, you know, we could probably win. Well, actually, wait. Do I have... I don't have any tempers. We'll try. The worst that we can lose is one whole battle. But now that we've got those armors, you know, we're going to be way harder to kill. That is a bit of a joke. Yeah. Copper bracelet is +3 absorb compared to cloth armor. Still not very much. I guess these long fights do favor the green mage's regen spell even more. So that is a perk. And you can see Fran there. Pretty good max HP. We'll do another one. And I don't know if I explained it. I'm assuming people are familiar with most of the Renaissance jobs by now, but the White Mage skill Prey does get better like every time in combat you use it. It starts really weak, but it sort of continuously gets stronger over the course of a long battle. So similarly, if you have time to stack it up, it does eventually do a pretty good percent of your HP. Or at least it can. Look at that. 4 mages basically bonking some Kaizoku to death. 600 bucks? I'll take it. I guess it's very unlikely that I would go to the Marsh Cave without copper bracelets on all my mages. It's just going to be a lot faster once we get Fire 2, you know. Not much to talk about once we get that. Try to buff right up a little bit. We do have harm 1. I mean, I could try to fight Geists. I forget where they are on the encounter table. I know where they are. I know where to fight them on the overworlds. It's just to the left of Elfland, not very far away. I think they show up fairly early in the encounter table. It's like the same group as the Ogre fight. Or the Ogre Creep fight, one or the other. And, therefore, pretty early in the table if you want to go try it. Geists do give pretty good money if you can win the fight, so maybe. Pretty notoriously evil, but... I'm just curious if the basic level 1 harm spell is anything close to reliable enough to get us through that. Missed. This might be the slowest 4-man group I've had in a long time, to be fair. Yeah, try sleep again, I guess. Just buy us 1 hit, seeing as Red can't hit anything. Was he like that in Final Fantasy VII? Kind of character that just misses all the time. I mean, I could buy a bigger knife and a better staff, and then Fran and Vivi would do a little bit of damage. I don't think it really makes much difference, but it's an option. Yeah, I think having Lightning 1 as a level 1 spell would have been slightly better. Sleep is just... I know sleep is... Like, I generally say sleep is bad. I'm kind of like, let's test it out. And now I'm like, yeah, I regret it. It's still pretty weak. I don't even think it really made much difference against the pirates. You know, it helped, but it's fine. Yeah, we're almost at 1,500 again. Let's, I guess, because they're pretty cheap. I can't remember if the Iron Staff is better than the Iron Hammer. 14 and 0. It is. Okay. Excuse me for not remembering the stats of every early game weapon that I almost never use. Okay, let's see if we can fight some Geist. That'll be fun. Not bad. Yeah, second fight. So this is the double ogre, one to two ogre fight, except Geist. So it's probably terrible and we'll probably die, but let's see what happens. That doesn't really matter. We need to see Harm go off and do a lot of damage. You know what? You know, that's intelligence boosting, I think. Because it's normally 40 to 80. Interesting. Now, it's still a very sketchy fight in the sense that they have stun touch, which is, you know, the worst. But you could bluff, and as long as Yuna gets a turn, I think pretty good odds of killing. Yeah. You know, that's better than I expected. That's actually the fastest way to grind with this particular group. Now, we've been lucky so far. You know, we haven't got stunned. But I think if I had some tents, this would go very quickly. Yeah, it's actually very reliably killing those guys. Dang, not bad. You know what? I wish I'd thought of that a little earlier. Anyway, we've got our level 3 spell slot I was looking for. Just run away. Do we keep getting Dancing Mad every second song again? Like, it's a good song. Dancing Mad, one of my favorite boss themes of all time. Just, I don't want to hear it every second. Fire 2, Lightning 2, Fire 2, Lightning 2. Lightning 2 is better against wizards, which is important. It seems like Harm is actually pretty... Even just basic Harm is better than I expected. What am I going to teach White Mage? Now, heal is basically garbage, because Prey is as good. Aether is mostly worthless. I mean, it helps with the Green Mage thing, but it's not going to be our plan. Harm 2? Cure 2? Might just be Harm 2. Then we let the White Mage kill Undead, and the Black Mage can pick up Lightning 2 freely. Also don't know what the Red Mage... The Red Mage could take one or the other as well, but the Red Mage won't learn level 3 slots for a little bit longer. I think having someone who is good against the wizards will make the first real dungeon considerably easier. Yeah, it's always like a level or two behind, learning new tiers of spells. In theory, though, we should have activated, 3 is okay, but not with an ambush. Classic RNG. I'm just gonna take 4, even with an ambush. It's fine. I feel like my VLC is once again in a weird loop where it just plays the same 3 songs over and over again. Do you ever get that with your music players where the randomizer seems to stop randomizing at some point? Just gonna skip through a whole bunch and see if it's right back to the beginning. Good. Mambo de Chocobo, that's kind of what I wanted anyway. Something fun. Okay, so now that we have access to good grinding, how much do we want to grind? We just want to grind until we've got the one of each spell we can learn, and probably a silver sword, and, you know, a variety of tents and heal potions, the usual. The usual. Oh yeah, man, Renaissance mages are so overpowered. This is why Black Mage was so high up on the tier list, if you're wondering. I know some people didn't like me putting just a regular Black Mage so far up the tier list. It's the intelligence scaling, guys, and also his skill that makes him do better elemental damage. The truth is, the game is much, much easier with a black mage. Red mages are very good, but the consistent sweeping ability is probably not as good for soloing the game, but not that bad for soloing the game. As is, I believe, demonstrated right here. You just have a team of 4 black mages. One of them just does bluff all the time. You'd have a lot of spell slots to just cast your best spell. A mono party is pretty fun. Well, it works better for some classes than others, but we're at the point where I should already probably switch over to tents because it's faster. Well, no, I lied, because I need to go to the inn for spell slots. When I was playing with other characters that could do this, you know, without going to an inn, tents became much quicker. I suppose... what should I do? Save up for a silver sword next? Or try to get the level 3 magic for the other 2? I guess if... I have to decide what the red mage is going to learn at level 3. It might just be Fire 2 anyway, just to have that as well. Although it might be Hold. The Saboteur ability is very good on the red mage. And boosting it with Intelligence Boost, the Bluff Intelligence Boost, that's how you pronounce it, right? Does almost guarantee that you can paralyze like most of the bosses like Carry and Kraken and stuff, which is very, very good. Maybe I self-limit a little bit. This is supposed to be like a challenge run, right? Like a 1 spell per level run. So you could think of that as like, well, let's just not take the best spell every time. Take the more interesting spell. Maybe. Well, I think we'll have access to a silver sword if we want it. I guess I have to buy another copper bracelet too. There's quite a lot of things to buy. Basically, if I picked up another spell slot, another Lightning 2, Fire 2 on the red mage, that would speed up this portion of the grinding a little bit. Because we could do 2 fights in a row, I guess, but it's not that much different. Although, what do we do with level 4 black magic? Fast is really good. And Ice 2 is also really good. We are getting there. Let's get 5,000 gold. I'll get my weapons and armor first because they're easier, you know, I don't have to think about them. We just buy the best gear. Getting some pretty good luck on these group formations, though. And, of course, we'll need a whole bunch of pures and heal potions and stuff. I guess we don't need that many heal potions, but we'll need some. I think we get a second level 3 slot pretty quickly as well. So even if we don't give the red mage another sweeper, black mage will get another sweeper spell pretty early. Also, okay, this is something to think about. So one of the things that came up in the comments quite a lot during my Geomancer Elementalist runs was that because the Geomancer could recharge spell slots, you know, a lot of people think it's okay for their spells to suck or, you know, generally be worse than a black mage or similar spellcaster. I just want to point out that 90% of the time, I'm never running out of spell slots, right? If you're on the overworlds, like, okay, if you're playing blind, and this is where Geomancer would be better. If you're playing blind and you don't have a map of a dungeon or the world, and you just have to explore, then having a rechargeable spell slot is way better. Because you don't know when the next time you're going to get to an inn, you don't know where the bosses are, all that kind of stuff. But if you know exactly where all the fights are, and you know where the inns are, and you can recharge your spell slots especially once you have an airship, you know, anytime you want, really. And once you can afford houses, even easier, really. It's like, in most of my runs, do I ever consider my maximum number of spell slots a huge limitation? The answer is not really. Not never, but it's rare, let's say, that I really care if I have 2 of my best spells or just 1 or 0. Well, 0 is a difference, but I don't know. What am I trying to say? Basically, Geomancer, like, the benefit you gain for rechargeable spells, I don't think it's actually that good. Like it is a buff, like it's a pro. It is an upgrade, or I don't know what you call it, but like it is a benefit of the class that you can recharge your spell slots. But how often do you play where you're red mage, blue mage, green mage, etc.? You know, you just wish you had that one extra spell slot, and if you could just get it, then this fight would be completely trivialized, you know. It might happen a couple times per run, but not that often. Yeah, ogres don't really care if you've got fire or lightning. I guess creeps are weak to fire, but they're also weak to lightning in a sense. So I think lightning was probably the play there. We'll get that level up. That'll just take 1 or 2 more fights. And then I'll think about what I want to spend my money on. 51 minutes in. We're probably not going to get to Marsh in episode 1. But we are at the point where we're pretty close. You know? It's just a little bit of grinding to go. And I would definitely say that I showed off the, you know, quote, hard part of the grind, so to speak. I guess we could take... I need to buy something for Red Mage. None of these will ever do anything on the Red Mage, I don't think. Sleep is just not a very good status. I actually think if you wait till you're a Red Wizard, you can pick up the Ruse. However, we'll have the Defense Sword at that point, which kind of just does the same thing for free. I guess if the Red Mage has Ruse, you could give the Defense Sword to someone else. Sure, I don't... Okay, that means we don't buy a Red Mage spell at level 1 until promotion. I guess. There's a few spells that Red Mage gains access to post promotion as a Red Wizard, and it's hard to remember them all. But I'm pretty sure Ruse is one. The usual stuff is like Exit and Life and Warp, I think. But there's a couple others that you can pick up only after promotion. Alright, so let's think about level 2 magic. We picked up Temper for long-term buffing purposes. Could be good against bosses, so those are covered. White Mage. I mean, we could try to mute Astos, is kind of funny. I could give that to Red Mage. Is there anything Red Mage would want at Black level 2? Dark is probably worse than Sleep as a status. Slow is very, very niche. I mean, it's good against, like, the Kraken and stuff, but, you know, what's better than that is Hold, which is probably what we're going to get. Temper, you could have a double Temper, but chances are the Power Glove will be on the Red Mage, so that'll cover it. And then Ice is bad. Okay. Oddly enough, I think it's Silence to make Astos trivial. And then Fran can pick up... Honestly, it doesn't even matter. Lamp is real bad. Invis is not really that good. I guess Anti-Lightning does at least give us something that will help exuviation if we want to try to get exuviation to work. Oh, that was the wrong. Oh, dang. Shoot. I used to having the white mage. Nuts. Hold on. Mubby. We're gonna reset and do that properly. I'm gonna give anti-poison to the green mage and anti-lightning to the white mage, because we can only get one, and no overlaps, no point with overlaps. That will give us 2 potential ways to charge up Exuviate, which is probably never going to be very good, but I should try to show it off, you know. Okay, green mage anti-poison because that's unique. White mage mostly doesn't matter, but we take anti-lightning. Red mage takes mute. And that's everybody? Alright, we're saving level 1 slot for Ruse. Now we go into level 3 stuff. I guess I should look at what the green mage can learn at level 3. It's probably not going to impress me that much. Also 2 charges now of the big lightning. I'll just use it on these guys, might as well. Poor little Sahogs, we're already smacking them around. 164 damage on lightning. Yep. I do like the intelligence scaling. Just sometimes it's a bit much, you know. It seems a little too strong almost. Okay. So, green magic, we've got better regen, which is probably what, well, I might just, there's 4 tiers of regen. Harden, I don't love. Okay, I think the white mage is going to actually take well, we could go anti-fire, like, we could go hard onto exuviation by giving a lot of protection buffs and then cleansing them or expending them to cast exuviate. It's just anti-stone is so niche. For general utility, it would be regen 2, probably harm 2. If I want to try exuviation strats, it's Aether and A stone. But that doesn't sound very good. I think I'm still going to give hold to Red Mage, because Saboteur is a synergy. I'm thinking. I think I don't really want to bank on Exuviation. Like, I know I picked up Anti-Poison and Anti-Lightning because, I mean, there's nothing else at level 2 that really matters. But there are other level 3 spells that are probably worth more. And Undead do stink, and I'm not taking Fire 2. I'm not taking, like, I didn't give Red Mage a sweeper, and I didn't take an anti-undead sweeper, so I think I have to stick to my guns. White Mage takes harm 2, which means we might just take anti-fire on the Green Mage, because there are some fights, like the Lich fight. If we can't kill them quick enough, having anti-ice, anti-lightning, anti-fire, they do help. But, oh, I know, there was one buff to the, actually, one thing to consider. The Green Mage did get a buff that I didn't really talk about. Their anti-spells now have priority. They go at the beginning of combat, or at the beginning of the round. So, they're actually better to learn. If you know what the enemy is going to do, it's better to have, like, anti-ice on Fran, because that's the first, like, Ice 2 is the first spell the Lich uses. And therefore, we always go before it, right? If there was an anti-nuke spell for Lich 2, right? That would be great. That would finally give the Green Mage some value. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere where I can make that work. It doesn't synergize well with the achievement I'm hunting for, though. Want to burn the next encounter. I guess that doesn't really matter, but yeah, we get double lightning now, so might as well tent in between, I guess. Yeah, I think that logic makes sense. Let's get 3 grand. Oh, we're already at an hour. Okay, you know what? I think this is a satisfactory amount of on-camera progress. I think I've talked about my strategy well enough. I'm gonna finish buying my level 3 magic, and that'll probably be enough for me to go to Marsh. And I just, you know, we're gonna make sure we have more heal potions and pure potions and all that. So I will get that. Oops. That's good job. Straight to the ends. I will get the grind finalized before the next episode. I don't expect I'm gonna go too much further. You know, maybe 1 or 2 more levels, depending on how much time it takes to kill these Kaizoku. And yeah, I think I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna go Harm 2 and probably a Fire. I kind of regret. Maybe I should have given Anti-Lightning to Fran, because there are some enemies, like blue dragons, that are liable to use lightning on turn 1. And the first strike for casting Enhancing Magic. I thought it was only the anti-spells. But if that also includes, like, Invis and Ruse, that would be pretty good too, actually. I know the developer did buff Green Mage a little bit, at least, so it's better than nothing, you know? Better than nothing. Yeah, when we come back, I will have the level 3 stuff figured out. I'll probably save the level 4 till after Astos, because I don't think we're going to need it. There's really no good level 4 white magic anyway. And ice isn't particularly good in the Marsh Cave, in general. And we just gotta make sure we're strong enough to kill the wizards. And I think we'll be fine. Yeah, okay, we'll call that an episode. That's our introduction to our Minimus challenge, let's say. I don't think it's gonna be particularly hard, and as we get some levels, I do think the Black Mage is, as usual, gonna just sweep through stuff. Even though we've got 2 supports that are not incredibly valuable. The Red Mage is a solid front row, not the best, but solid enough. And some of those Saboteur statuses will be really nice later on, too. So, you know, I don't think Astos is going to have a very good day. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you next time.